Hey guys, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft, home of global safety and survival. Today, I thought we'd take a look at another bicycle that I have, which is kind of a crossbreed between a pleasure bike, a road bike, and a mountain bike, and that's called a hybrid. And a hybrid is a very nice option for a bike. I bought my first hybrid very late into my bicycling experience. I have not done a multiple day tour on this particular bicycle, but I can tell you that from riding it both loaded down and as a normal commuting bike, I think it would rate very high in that spectrum if we were looking at a bike that we could load down with gear and head out over the period of multiple days. And I'll tell you why I think that. The frame on this particular model here, which is the Trek 820, is very reminiscent of a mountain bike. It's made out of a good heavy material. The welds and the joints are rock solid, and it has some of the attributes that I would look for in a good quality mountain bike. The rims are versatile in the area of the variety of tires that you can run. You can go down to the size of a large road bike tire, and you can go up as far as a small mountain bike tire. The amount of tires that are on the market as far as the tread patterns and the different materials that you can buy, they're abundant. The size of this tire right here is a 26-inch tire, which is a nice size for going out and riding on the road, but not too big to take off-road. This would not be the bike that I would want to use as a commuter bike if I was going to be commuting 25 to 35 miles back and forth to work on nice paved city streets, or if I had a nice trail like a bike trail, designated bike lane that I was going to be riding in. If I was going to go out and ride centuries, this would probably not be the bike that I would look for. I would look more for the road bike. But as a bike that you're going to use for riding around town, I would say 25 to 35 mile tracks. Something that you would like to have the versatility of riding on road, off road, or trails such as rail trails, paved or either hard packed, this bike would be hard to beat. My favorite part about this is not only could I buy separate tires for this bike, but I can actually purchase separate rims for this bike. So I can have a set of rims in my garage at home where the bike would be set up for riding on the road. So if I do want to go out on that 35-mile road ride carrying the least amount of gear, I can go with a very high-pressured skinny tire. But if I want to load it down and go on an off-road trek and be riding fire roads or rail trails or something of that sort, I can just switch out the rims without having to worry about changing the tubes and tires. Kind of a lazy man's way to go, but hey, I got the availability to jump on a couple of rims on sale, and it was a nice option to have. And I can do that and change these out in just a few minutes. The components that are on them as far as changing the tires are quick release. So is the seat post. I put more of a road type seat on this particular bike because I plan on riding it on road or hard packed surfaces most of the time. So I went with a Brooks saddle. Once it breaks in and it fits your body, I thought it was a nice option for this bike. It carries the bags on the rear very well, and I've got this one set up to where it can pull a trailer. I can carry all of the gear that I need for multiple days with this particular bike with no problem. So let's look at advantages and disadvantages. I've told you about several of the advantages. What's the disadvantages? Well, very similar to the mountain bike. The frame is going to be heavier in the amount of weight. The gearing is not going to be as high speed like a road bike, so it's not going to be efficient for those 25 and 35 mile trips. You're just not going to be able to get the speed up without putting in a lot of work. It's going to be not as efficient for high speed road travel. But as far as comfort, with these, some of them even come with a front stem that is adjustable, so you can control if you're setting up straight or if you're leaning over. That's a real nice option to have. It also comes with some front suspension on it that limits you on what you can carry as far as panniers on the front, but it really takes up a lot of that shock on the front end, and I think that that is both an advantage and a disadvantage depending on what you want to do. If your goal is to load this thing out with bags and not pull a trailer, that would be a disadvantage. But if your goal is for comfort on those front ends, especially those shoulders and forearms, wrist, that shock absorber on the front is a great option to have. The frame itself is set up to where you can have an array of lighting and bags other than just those front bags on it, so you can weigh that into your options. The other thing is they're becoming very popular, so the price of this particular bike has dropped dramatically in the last couple of years, and you can really buy a lot of bike for your money right now. Most of your major manufacturers are selling this particular style of bike, and you're seeing them a lot out on the trails and all now. People really seem to love them. So thanks for joining me for this quick discussion as we talk about the hybrids. I think it's something that you really ought to consider when you're looking for your next bike. And until next time, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft, home of global safety and survival. Until next time, God bless, guys.